Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? Okay, I want to tell you about the story of a great man by the name of Colin Kaepernick. He's a football quarterback, and he was born November the 3rd, 1987, which makes him 29 years old. That makes him also a Scorpio. He stands at the height of 6'4". Now, his birth father is an African-American man, left the family before Colin was born. Rosa placed Colin for adoption with Rick and Teresa, a white couple who had two children, a son, Kyle, and a daughter named Devin. They were looking for a boy after they had losing two other sons as far as heart defects. Now, what's going on in reference to Colin's world? When it came time to sing the national anthem, he got on one knee and he basically protested because he didn't like the way, black people were being treated. Now, this is the thing that gets me. He didn't walk away. He didn't like hide behind anyone. He just got on one knee. And to me, that's like the biggest compliment without even anyone with a bright frame of mind would know that that's the biggest compliment to give anyone when you get down on one knee. When a person dies and stuff, you go to God, you pray to God, you get on one knee and you pray to God. You bow down. In the scriptures it says, every knee will bend before me and every tongue shall give the glory to God, Jesus Christ. So the thing about it is, they're making this whole big thing like he's done something so against the world and stuff like that, and that's not what he's doing. But the way the world is and stuff, they try to find some type of way just to boycott this man, just to go against the grain, because he's standing up for what is right. Now, this is the thing. We know that we live in a very double standard world when people always want to judge and give ridicules and everything. Now, this is the thing that's made me wonder. Why is it that so many people have not stood out as far as black people, as well as anyone? Right is right and wrong is wrong. People see the slant and stuff, but maybe they're starting to wake up. Maybe they needed something to hit them in the face that was really going to wake them up so finally they could get it together. Let's think about something. How about Charlottesville, where all the Ku Klux Klan and the Nazi people were out there showing you the hate and rage and stuff like that. And here it is that people were out there protesting saying, stop this, we're not like this. There were people that were injured. There was even the guy who grabbed his car and ran into the people that were protesting singing. They used words. There was a guy by the name of DeAndre, and he was beaten by the white supremacists. So Colin may not be quite off of what he was saying. There was a girl by the name of Heather, and she was murdered. And she was white, and she was murdered by Trump's racists. Basically, that's what it was saying. It says no place for hate. And, of course, her mother stood there and said, don't let her daughter go down in vain because her daughter fight for what was right. Guess who else was there? David Duke. Guess who he is? He is the leader of the KKK. And he says that Trump has the same position as him. So was it this act of hate to finally make black men finally stand up and say, maybe Colin was right, what he was saying? Maybe they need to start doing a boycott as far as the NFL. Maybe they need to finally wake up and stand with this man and say, you know what? Maybe he is right. Maybe we did let him know that lives do matter more than sponsor. Y'all didn't boycott NFL when Ben raped those two girls or Ray Rice beat his girlfriend, but y'all boycotting over a flag. Go play in traffic. Hashtag NFL boycott. Now, this is the thing that's going on as far as the internet and stuff. They're basically letting anybody need to boycott and stop standing behind these sponsors and stuff and let people know that people are being murdered on these streets. While we're sitting back representing as far as sponsoring people and all this other stuff like that, we are dying. And without people, you're never going to need these sponsors because everybody's going to be dead, basically, especially people who are not going to benefit from this. Anyway, I want to share this video with you as far as people letting you know to boycott the NFL. Check this out.
Christian Texans, I'm blacking you out. The Atlanta Falcons, I am blacking you out. Washington, I'm blacking you out. Dallas Cowboys, I'm blacking you out. Titans, I'm blacking you out. 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 NFL, we're blacking you out.
In 2016, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick engaged in a silent, non-violent protest. Colin Kaepernick simply decided to take a knee during the playing of the national anthem at NFL games. He did this to kind of raise awareness to the number of brown and black individuals that had been beaten or killed at the hands of law enforcement across this country. Since the end of last season, as a result of this protest, Colin Kaepernick has been unable to find employment in the NFL. I find that strange, seeing that the NFL has employed individuals that have been convicted of sexual assault, domestic violence, cruelty to animals, along with driving while under the influence. A number of NFL owners have come out and stated the reason they can't employ him is because of a fear of a backlash from sponsors or a certain segment of their fan base. And it's interesting that they've capitulated thus far to a certain segment of the fan base while fearing no backlash from the African-American community. The African-American community makes up 15% of the NFL's overall viewership. And I find it interesting that they've made the calculation that states that even though they're going to silence one who stood up for values that have meaning to us, they have an expectation that African Americans are still going to be there on opening day, watching and patronizing their product. My belief is simply this: if Colin Kaepernick was willing to take a stand for those of us who are non-celebrities that would have to interact with law enforcement on a day-to-day basis, if he was willing to take a knee for us, certainly we ought to take a stand and stand with him. I think it's important that we take some action steps.
As long as Kaepernick is without a job, we refuse to watch the NFL. We refuse to purchase any NFL paraphernalia endorsed by the NFL, and we refuse to engage in fantasy football. As a church community, we commit 1 to 2 hours each Sunday for the next 17 weeks of football to pour in to our African American boys and girls. We will do this whether he is employed or not. Let's take the time that would normally be given to the NFL and give back to our boys and girls.
Spread the word to other men that we speak the language that the NFL responds to: money. Let us make it clear that since our lives matter so little to them, their product will matter even less to us.
We take a knee as Kaepernick did. We devote this season to prayer each morning, 6 a.m. for our youth, communities, local and government officials.
This is not a boycott, but a man-cott, because this demonstration is not for boys, it's for men of strong conviction.
Now, we want you to know this protest is not anti-flag, because people of color love the Stars and Stripes. It is not anti-American, because people of color have loved this country even when this country has not loved us back. And this protest is not anti-veteran, because we support those who have made sacrifices so that our liberties have been secured. This protest is to ensure the rights of all Americans, regardless of color or creed, to be heard.
Together we stand united against discrimination in all its forms. We're making a call to people of conscience, regardless of race, religion, or creed, who are able to recognize injustice and join us in this blackout. It is a call to all pastors, leaders, and churches, not just to look at what's happening as a black problem, but as an American problem.
We black out hatred. We mourn for our brothers and sisters in Charlottesville, Virginia. We pray for the healing of that community, along with the healing of our nation.
Up through 2014, the NFL had what they call blackout policies. When a stadium in a particular city had failed to sell out all of its tickets, they would black out the game so it couldn't be shown on that local market. They would force the fans to the stadium to buy the tickets. Today, we're forcing the hands of the NFL. We're saying that there's some values that we have that matter and they count. And so NFL, we want you to know that we're going to black you out. I'm making the call to pastors, leaders, my brothers, all people of conscience, regardless of your race or your background, to join us in this blackout. I'm going to be clear that I'm a football fan. I played it most of my life growing up, and there's rarely a Sunday that I've missed in my adult years. But there comes a point in time where I've got to prioritize my convictions more than my entertainment value. And let me be clear that this thing is bigger than Colin Kaepernick. He took a stand for an issue that's uniquely valuable to African Americans. But tomorrow, it could be your liberties, your perspective, your worldview that's at stake. He is symbolic of all of us. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us. Join us.
Join us.
We're going to black you out. You're on the clock.
Make sure you join the movement. #blackout. You know, the thing about it is they made this man stand by himself for so long. He can't get endorsements. He can't get a job. All because he got on one knee because he didn't like the way the world is. And here it is now. They act like he's just made something up. You know, so basically, for once, hopefully, people going to stand behind him for once and say, yes, it is wrong what we've done to him. Yes, if y'all don't hire him, then we're going to stop buying your products. We're going to find out what you're selling, and we're going to boycott it all. We need to start creating unity and within this community of love. And it's not about blacks. It's about all races and stuff. Standing for what's right and stop making Colin stand by himself. You know, and it's the thing. I was wondering how long it was going to take. So finally, I got a chance to see people want to do the right thing as far as him. I felt so bad and stuff for him to just stand there by himself and stuff. You know, but for once, I'm praying that everything will go well and stuff. And basically, he get hard because people are afraid to touch him because they worried about endorsements over this man's life. It's so sad when people put money over someone's life. Anyway, are you going to boycott? I would love to hear feedback on this. And I want you to stay strong, Colin. And I love you. And I want to thank you for watching Catch the Rave.